Slashers are one of the most beloved subgenres in horror. It's unique in the sense that we fall in love with the villains just as much as we do with the heroes. They were built on tropes and over-the-top kills and have been long overdue for something to come along that reinvents it altogether. So, when we're put in a position to follow the killer, which has been done before but usually just moments before a kill and not the whole film in its entirety, how does it hold up? And does it accomplish its mission at becoming a classic? Chris Nash's In a Violent Nature opens up in the woods of Ontario with some kids doing something dumb that awakens Johnny, a mute zombie guy who looks exactly like Jason Voorhees, who then goes on an adventure to get back what was stolen from him. So it sounds like a generic slasher plot. What makes it so special? Well, for starters, let me say that my initial reaction was confusion, but after sitting and thinking about it for a while, I can say that I understand the movie now. In a Violent Nature strips slashers down and basically shows us behind the scenes. We get a glimpse into the things that we always wondered, like how our favorite icons get around so quickly. And no, they don't teleport, they walk like most people. Which brings me to the main criticism I've seen for people, and that's that this movie has a lot of walking, which is confusing because what did they expect since every trailer showcases just that? But yes, this movie does have a lot of walking, and yet that's part of the subtle comedic element at play here. The movie promised that we would follow the killer, and it does just that. We accompany Johnny on an almost therapeutic walk through the woods that is abruptly stopped when he has to take care of business killing people in the most insane ways. After each kill, Johnny resumes his slow, methodical walk, emphasizing the dark humor in his character's unchanging routine. It's not like a usual horror film where someone is killed and then we cut away to characters doing other stuff to fill the time until our villain strikes again. In a Violent Nature fills that time walking with Johnny, not doing a time skip. The comedy is pushed further when Johnny, our huge, dripping, wet figure, moves through the forest with absurd stealth and somehow is unnoticed around his potential victims. This running gag highlights the often ridiculous nature of slasher film logic. Nash's direction, inspired by the slow cinema of Gus Van Sant, uses long static shots to create an immersive atmosphere. The serene beauty of the Ontario wilderness contrasts sharply with the sudden burst of violence, creating a jarring and effective cinematic experience. This technique also adds to the film's satirical tone, as the audience is lulled into a false sense of security before being jolted by Johnny's brutal actions. This is further expanded upon with the sound design, which plays a crucial role in the overall experience. The natural sounds of the forest and Johnny's ominous footsteps build tension, making the eventual violence even more shocking. This interplay of calm and chaos is one of the film's strengths, contributing to its unique ambience. But what's a slasher without its characters, right? Well, the characters in this film serve mainly to populate Johnny's killing spree and our familiar tropes. While they have names, they are largely forgettable. While only one stands out slightly as she smartly avoids danger once the horror begins, the film's focus is firmly on Johnny and his macabre mission, which may disappoint those looking for a traditional final girl narrative. But it's a refreshing change for those seeking something different. One thing that this film does have in common with traditional slashers are the kills, and boy are some of them gruesome. One of the kills was something I've never seen before, and it was so over the top that I couldn't help but laugh in the theater while it happened. One negative I do have is that maybe 2 or 3 of the kills you don't actually see what happens, and it contradicts the whole concept of the film when you do a cutaway before killing someone. Otherwise, the kills are top notch and shouldn't disappoint you. Since we're on the topic of negatives, I might as well mention the ending. It's honestly the biggest reason that people may not like this movie, and it felt disjointed in contrast with the rest of the film. I could see the vision, but to abandon the concepts you built a film and marketing around was just a mind-boggling decision. Sadly, I feel like the ending is what will leave a lasting impression on most viewers, and they'll walk away forgetting the rest of the movie because of how bad the last 15 minutes are. I didn't let it get to me though, and I do think In a Violent Nature is poised to become a cult classic thanks to its bold approach to the slasher genre and its clever satirical elements. While it may not appeal to everyone, those willing to embrace its unique style and dark humor will find a richly rewarding experience. Nash has crafted a film that is not only a feast for horror enthusiasts, but also a sharp, funny critique of the genre itself. So that's what I think. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and if you think it lived up to the hype. Until next time, stay scared.